The 5 brutally honest truths that give you an unfair advantage in life. Number 1, you are more likely to be celebrated by strangers than those you have history with when you start reaching new levels. Number 2, if you aren't consistent, you struggle with consistency, you're living out a program that was created from observations you made as a kid. Number 3, whatever you focus on expands, good or bad. Number 4, you will never feel like doing something you haven't been doing. 5, if you despise the rich, you'll never become rich. You'll never become that which you despise.
Here's 5 more brutally honest truths that give you an unfair advantage in life.
Number 6, this will rattle you, some of you. This is a brutally honest truth, and it will give you an unfair advantage in life. Number 6, Jesus did enough on the cross. You don't have to earn the love of God through your performance. See, some of you saw, what happened with Charlie Kirk, right? And it inspired you. You're like, wow, man, holy cow. Like, man, he went to campuses and he preached the gospel and he was just so smart and so amazing. I gotta do more for God. I gotta do more. And so you have this form of condemnation of, I'm not on campuses yet. I didn't bring anyone to Christ this week. You're still under performance Christianity, thinking that you still need to perform to earn the love of your Father. Well, if you have to perform, then it wasn't finished on the cross. Jesus didn't say, it is finished. He didn't say, it is finished. If Andrea reads her Bible every day, then it's finished. No. So it's not to not read your Bible every day. That's not earning you anything. I read the Bible every day because I love God. Just like when I got married to my wife, okay? I didn't have a pact. Okay, babe, I'm going to make sure you have coffee every morning. I'm going to make sure that your phone is charged every morning. These are things that I do for her, okay? I'm going to make sure that you don't run out of toilet paper. I don't know what she would do without me, to be honest. Seriously. Like, her phone is never charged. She forgets, to buy coffee, even though she needs it. She'll never fill up the toilet paper. Those are my roles, okay? But when I got married, I didn't say, okay, I promise I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. No. I do those things because I love her. I go to church, not because I bet her or the Godfather's going to, take me out or hit me with lightning. I do it because I love him. I do those things for my wife because I love her. So I'm not doing it to earn. Do you understand this? See, most people live in a condemnation of, I'm just not doing enough. Man, if only I was on fire for Christ. Man, I really got to, I need to be a youth pastor or something. I need to earn it. I need to perform, right? You're thinking your performance is what earns the Father's love. But if that's true, then Jesus didn't do enough on the cross. Why even have it? So he did enough on the cross. Number 7, if you aren't diligent with the people and resources around you and the gifts you've been giving, you'll end up in a career you hate. Let me say that again. If you aren't diligent with the people and resources around you and the gifts that God gave you, you'll end up in a career you hate. Proverbs 12:24 says, the diligent hand will rule, but laziness will lead you to forced labor. What's forced labor? Sounds like slavery, right? Well, how many people do you know are in a career that they hate but can't leave? They make too much money or the benefits are too good. Be a good steward of who God's placed in your life. Be a good steward of what gifts he's given you. Be a good steward of what's around you. Now, none of this, by the way, again, earns the Father's love, but it makes your life more amazing. Be a good steward of that stuff. And what I found is the better steward I am of the people that God sends me, the more people he sends me. The better steward I am of the money God helps me receive, the more money he sends me. So it's not a punishment when I'm not receiving people or money or any of that kind of stuff. It just may be a season where I need to learn. Now, keep in mind, when Jesus was baptized by John, he said, this is my son who I'm well pleased. And what did he do next? Send him into the wilderness. Sent him into the wilderness to grow. So some of you may be in the wilderness right now, and God is growing you closer to him. I saw a meme I really liked that said, bless me or break me, but draw me closer, Lord. That's excellent, because we should seek first the kingdom of God. Is this helpful so far? Is this challenging you? Number 8, your life will change when you believe in God's abilities more than all of your own disabilities. I've taught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people how to hear in prayer, how to be able to ask questions in prayer and actually get answers. And I learned that from Brilliant. I learned it from Graham Cook. changed my life. I rely on it every day. There isn't an hour in the day that I'm awake that I'm not praying about something. But what I've noticed is a lot of people are very convinced of their disability to hear God. I like what Tozer said. A.W. Tozer said, those who claim they never hear from God will discredit every time he talks to him. What if you just embraced his nature, that he loves you so much and he would love to talk to you? Why in James 1:5 would it say, when ye lack wisdom, ask, and it'll be given to you liberally and without reproach, if that wasn't true? Believe in his ability. His abilities far surpass your disabilities. Believe that. Number 9. This is the one, this will rattle you. This will rattle you. Persistence without insight ends in the same outcome. Persistence without insight leads to the same outcome. So if you have been learning in a way that's gotten you to a place that you don't like, maybe you need to embrace a different way to learn. And this can apply to anything. I'm just saying learning. If your prospecting has led you to the result in your business that you don't like, maybe it's time to challenge how you're doing that instead of just keep doing that. How many times do we keep doing things that aren't working, thinking that eventually they will work? You know, Einstein said doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results is insanity. Yet we do that. We say the same things to our spouse. We say the same things to our kids. We prospect the same way. We market the same way. So you need insight. And a lot of times insight comes from someone external. I've had major insights of someone looking at what I'm doing and saying, hey, you could do that better. Like, do it this way. Oh, thank you. That's why I so treasure coaches and mentors and the different masterminds I've been a part of versus me just continue to do something that's not working for years. That was number 9. Number 10, and this is a Henry Ford quote, but it's so true. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So challenge that. Challenge that. Some of you believe the lie that making money is hard, and you'll justify your belief by pointing to the results in your life. You'll say, yeah, it's hard because look, I'm broke. Well, the existence of long hair doesn't mean cutting hair is hard. The possibility of being broke absolutely does not prove that making money is hard. So learn to challenge. What is it that you believe? Because here's the truth about what you believe. You'll always verify what you believe to be true. So is what you're believing to be true serving you or no good? So let's talk about money for a second. I know that's most people's number one focus. Need more money. Okay. It's all good. So if making money is hard, then which verse is not true? Is it Deuteronomy 8:18 that says, remember the Lord your God who gave you the power to get wealth? Is that untrue? Did God screw up with you? Did he do that for other people, but not you? Because if he gave us the power to get wealth, then that doesn't sound like he gave us some power that's extremely difficult. Sounds like he gave us that power. Okay, so is that not true? Did he screw up with you, just you alone? Well, what about Deuteronomy 8:17? It says, you will think it's by your might that you made your wealth, but remember the Lord your God who gave you the power to get wealth, right? So Deuteronomy 8:17, 8:18, this is saying that God gave us the power, but James 1:17, John 3:27 tells us that God is responsible for all results. So if God's responsible for all results, isn't us thinking that making money is hard, doesn't that go against that? Does that even make sense? Doesn't make sense. So we need to challenge our beliefs. We need to figure out what is it that we believe that isn't serving us. What if you just realize that making money is providing value? What if you just realize that making money is helping someone solve their problem? In Proverbs, all throughout Proverbs, it says, wisdom calls aloud in the street. Okay. There's so many money-making ideas just crying aloud in the street. I mean, there's so many ideas of making money. You could go pressure wash tombstones. How many people have a loved one that's died and their tombstone gets all moldy and gross and, crusty and everything? A tombstone pressure washing company would kill it. You could be an individual. You could rent a pressure washer for a day. Go find the relatives of all the people. That's just one idea out of a billion. There's so many different ways to make money, but the problem is you're looking internally. So when you look internally, money doesn't come from you, right? You can't pay you, right? You have to look externally. Keep your eyes forward. Don't turn to the left or right. Keep your foot from evil. Don't make yourself first by looking inward. Make everyone else first. So if I make everyone else first and I think about what do they need? What would help them? What would help them attain their desires? What would provide value to them? What would solve their problems? Well, that's what I do every day. Every day I think about what would help you. And that's what I try to bring here to the internet, which causes some of you to buy my books or buy my courses or hire me as a coach or hire me to speak at your event or for your team. So I'm constantly not looking at, what does Ray need? I really need money. I don't look at that. I look at, what do you need? How do I help you? How do I solve your problems? How do I lead you to new awareness that will help you solve your problems? And that's what leads to all of our sales. That's how this works. That's number 10. And again, if you're enjoying this, you'd love our new YouTube channel. Subscribe to it.